Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Well, following on from my series that I started out with the fer-de-lance on what ships are really good at attacking Titans, I thought I'd turn my attention to the Alliance Chieftain. Yes folks, the Alliance Chieftain, made by Lakon Spaceways, the Chieftain can dish it out and also avoid the punishment. And what do we mean by that? Well, there's no bigger punishment to be dished out than a Thargoid Titan. Now, the Alliance Chieftain is widely renowned for being more maneuverable than ships of similar size and weight, and its combat profile means it's more than able to hold its own. But is it better than the fer-de-lance? It's lacking on some aspects of the build, whereas the fer-de-lance has 5 utility slots, this one only has 4. This could be a problem. We're going to have to wait and see. It has an awful lot of hull reinforcements, does the Alliance Chieftain. Is that going to make it a tank to hold itself up against the Titan? And how will it hold itself up against the Titan? Fully engineered like what I've got in this particular build. Is this going to be our new go-to ship, our OP ship for Thargoid attacks? Well, we're going to find out in this video. The Alliance Chieftain, although manufactured by Lakon Spaceways, was specifically manufactured to give the Alliance Chieftain that edge against the notorious and agile Thargoid vessels we've been dealing with. But how is it going to stand up against the static, though equally dangerous, Thargoid Titan and all the other ships and missiles and environment that goes on around that particular beast inside of Elite Dangerous? Now, after a monumentally coordinated and dedicated offensive by commanders in the Elite Dangerous galaxy, we defeated Tyrannus, and for that we were awarded an Alliance Chieftain paint job for that particular ship. And in addition to that, we were also awarded a ship kit. It was the bleached ship kit and also the bleached paint job, which I think looks absolutely fantastic on the Alliance Chieftain. Why do I think it's fantastic? Well, look at it this way. You went in there, you took apart a Titan, lots of bits of Titan would have been left laying around, therefore it is an apt reward that you have bits of Thargoid stuck to your ship. I think it looks quite good. Really good, in fact. This was not the only reward as well. Players who scored points against Tyrannus by shooting their core and taking part in its downfall were also given arcs as well as a decal for your ship that depicted a Titan and a single star next to it. What will we get for the second Titan that goes down? Who knows? Either way, we're here to talk about the Alliance Chieftain. As fantastic it looks in its new regalia, is it going to be any good in defeating the next Titan that the community has chosen? Now, to gain points and rewards against a Titan, first of all, you've got to get through the Maelstrom. We know this. Once you get to the Maelstrom, then you have to get a Guardian Nanite torpedo and fire those at the vents. These erupting vents that spew heat gases from them. By shooting a torpedo into them and getting as many as you possibly can, that gets you additional time against the Titan. All fantastic, I hear you say. I hear you say you all know this. I think everyone's seen the in-game set piece. But as you can see, this tank of an Alliance Chieftain seems to be holding its own. I've got some Bi-Wee shields on there, and we'll go through the entire build of this once I complete this initial run. I'm waiting for the orifice to open up, and once it is, I'm going to target it. Out with a nanite torpedo, it goes in, nicely guided, onto the next one, hitting that boost and zipping my way round. Onto the second one, away goes the torpedo, it goes in, it impacts, it turns that vent blue and disables the vent. Onto the third one, here we go, we're going quite well so far and we've survived with minimal damage. In goes the torpedo, on to the next one, here we go. Now I typically get 4 or 5 of these, depending on how good I am. I'm not the best flyer or pilot, but if I can hold my own with this particular ship, then it may be good for other budding commanders who are perhaps not so proficient in the cockpit. Either way, once you get the alert that says the core is erupting, flip yourself over, and I can say the Alliance Chieftain is doing really well. It's very agile, it's maneuverable. So far it's doing everything you can say on the tin. I've got 2 AX enhanced missile racks here, which I'm going to let loose at the core. There we go. I've got the beam lasers reducing the heat as well with thermal vent. I've got long range sensors in this as well, but again we're going to go through this with the builds that allow me to get a lock on the core from further away. So I've laid down my damage, and then I'm going to Foxtrot Oscar out of the way, and it's going to display how many credits I've got for the build that I currently use and how much damage I inflicted onto that core of the Titan. So 372,000 credits, give or take the shouting. Not bad, not brilliant. Now Frontier do say that to qualify for merits and rewards for shooting a Titan, the week before it gets destroyed, you've got to cause at least 2 million credits worth of damage against a Titan core. So, all commanders, if you think that Titan's going to go, better get cracking. So here we go, we're going to take you through the build of the Titan bomber based on this Chieftain. So what have we got straight off the bat? Well, we could go a little bit better with this, with the Sirius enhanced missile rack, which has been modified, but we're going with the enhanced AX missiles. They've got a damage of 32 points, and they've got, on the class 3, a nice big magazine, right? That clip size is 12, with a maximum ammo size of 28. Then in the third slot, I've gone for the Guardian Nanite Torpedo, simply because I didn't have another grade 3 missile rack, and I thought, well, I might as well put that one in there as well. It doesn't do any more damage. Again, it's just got a larger ammo maximum size. Takes a little bit more power than the class 2. Then moving into the weaponry in the second 2D slot, the medium slot, enhanced AX missile rack yet again. I'm leaving one slot here open because, to be fair, there's no point putting anything in there that you didn't really want to put in. I think future, once the Titan's in its death throes, I do have the idea of putting, say, a mine launcher in there as well, and mining the custard pot portal, so that when ships come out there, you can knock them sideways, make a little bit of scratch off some of the Orthuses that start to flee the Titan when it's in its death throes. And then I've got 2 beam lasers. Now these beam lasers, as you can imagine, good old beam lasers, long range, thermal vent on both of those. Into the utility mount. ECM, very good for some type of missiles that get fired at you by scouts and other Thargoid entities. Also, we got the caustic sink launcher, got that engineered up with a maximum ammo clip size of 7 for the caustic damage. Got my Thargoid pulse wave neutralizer so I can get myself in through the maelstrom. And again, to manage heat should I need to, I've got the heat sink launcher. However, I do think this will be okay, and we shouldn't really need this. We could swap that out potentially for another caustic sink launcher should I need it. Into the core internals. This is where the rubber starts to meet the road. Military composite on the hull, right? And I've got that with heavy duty armor and deep plating, so we're nice and heavy. The power plant, low emissions, thermal spread yet again. Thrusters, dirty drive tuning, but then I've kind of limited it a little bit with thermal spread on that as well. The frameshift drive, increased FSD range, and life support, I've got miscellaneous lightweight. The power distributor, charge enhanced, bit of flow control. Why have I gone for flow control? Well, I've gone for flow control because, as it says here, it's advanced software and internal sensors that regulate energy flow more efficiently and reduces the power module draw. So that's good, because as you can see, I'm knocking on the door of maxing out my power. With the sensors, long range scanner. I'm trying this out, long range as opposed to lightweight. Long range, so hopefully I can get a lock from a longer distance in regards to those Titan heat vents. And of course, you know it, we've always got one, it's the fuel tank. In the optionals, well, not much to see here really in the optionals. Bi-weave shield generator, very nice and quick, and I've got reinforced as well. Hull reinforcements, heavy duty as well, all the way down here. Bit of module reinforcement, a fuel scoop, Should I get stuck with interdictions getting into the Titan system and then get caught short? I want to be able to get this ship out, and a fuel scoop will help me do that. Again, a little bit of module reinforcement down there because we don't typically need, as yet, a surface scanner. So a little bit of module reinforcement we've got there. Surface scanner we've got, no dramas. You could have it, you could take it out. Whether that's going to save you anything, that's completely up to you. Nothing else in the vehicle bays. So the hard points, I think we're going to try this out. The placement of that at the top for the torpedoes might work quite well. The enhanced missile racks on the bottom, and again behind the torpedo rack on the Chieftain. That slot is empty, and some beam lasers to manage, should we say, manage any additional heat that you pull out. And that's my Titan bomber based on the Chieftain. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take it into combat against a Titan to see if it does better than my fer-de-lance Silver Fang build. I don't know. This should be more maneuverable because the Alliance did build the Chieftain specifically for the Thargoid War and to be nice and maneuverable. Will it be? Who knows? Let's find out. Now, for a lot of you who are aware and took part in the initial Titan to fall, Titan Tyrannus, we got awarded for taking part in that a paint job, and that paint job is this bleach, which I think looks quite nice and lends itself to actually what we were doing in regards to the Titan. The bleached job, I mean, compared to others, I think goes really nice with that bleached ship kit as well. Now, all this was done as part of a reward, shall we say, for taking part in the initial Titan takedown. There was also a ship kit that came up with the bleach spoiler, that nice bit of Thargoid carapace on the back. I think it lends itself really well. A little bit there for the wings, a little bit on the bumper. Nothing obscures vision. Does lend itself, like I say, to the kit. Again, if we look in at the decals, you can see the Titan destroyed #1 decal. I've popped on that as well. When the other Titans fall, we're assuming, and it would be great to anticipate what sort of decals we're going to have. Probably a second star on it. Who knows? And you could put that on your ships. Well, all this is well and good, and I gotta say the Chieftain did hold up to its end of the bargain. Did I do better than what I did in my fer-de-lance? No, I didn't. What were the problems? Well, I think the fact that there was 2 small beam lasers at the front and no AX weaponry I could really put in there didn't help towards the amount of damage that I could particularly have laid down against the Titan. I could have made this a bit better with serious missile racks. I get that, you know, and moved things around, but I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. It might have knocked it up to, say, 450,000 credits, 500,000 credits per run. Either way, the ship did hold up. It was a good old tank build. The weapons worked particularly well, and it was nimble enough. It's a viable option. I think I'll still go back to my fer-de-lance though. You let me know what you think. Do you have an Alliance Chieftain build, specifically for doing some damage against the Titans? What ship do you typically use? And if you've got a build, stick a link in the comment. I'd love to see it. I've been Ricardo. Thanks for watching this video on my Chieftain bomber for the Titans, and I'll see you soon.